Luna believes Will's beach house can make all her dreams come true. Recap. On today's The Bold and the Beautiful recap, Poppy and Finn have no time for Luna. Poppy and Lee are having a tense discussion about Luna at Deacon's Pizza Kitchen. Lee struggles to believe Finn is Luna's father while Poppy can't believe she is her daughter. She doesn't even think of Luna as her daughter anymore. Just then, Deacon walks up with their drinks. He listens in as Poppy says her daughter is dead to her. Steffi and a still shirtless Finn, not complaining, are discussing the Luna of it all. He knows she is his flesh and blood but could never feel 1 ounce of sympathy for her. Bill, Katie and Electra vow to stand by Will's side on The Bold and the Beautiful. Bill and Katie discuss their son. He knows Will won't have the life he thought, but they will guide and protect him. They both agree they all will come together as Spencers. Ivy tells Electra how worried she is about her after all the trauma she has endured. She wonders why Will when there are so many eligible young men ripe for the picking. Electra thanks her aunt for her concern but says Will is the only man for her. Will can't believe his eyes on The Bold and the Beautiful. Will can't believe Luna broke out of prison and wonders how she found him. She explains about seeing the social media post. Luna thinks the beach house is the perfect place for them to build the life and family she's always dreamed for them. What did you think of today's episode? Sound off in the comments and watch the video clip below. The first time Luna saw Will's beach house, she stood barefoot in the sand, her sandals dangling from one hand and her breath caught somewhere between her chest and the horizon. It didn't matter that the house was technically more weathered than whimsical, more salt-stained than storybook. In Luna's mind, it shimmered, alive with promise, possibility, and every dream she had ever been too afraid to say aloud. The house sat on Oceanstar Cove, a quiet stretch of coastline that looked as though it had been sketched by someone who still believed in magic. Driftwood scattered the shore like half-forgotten treasures. The tide hummed its secrets. And there, resting on stilts and sunlight, was the place Luna had begun to think of, privately, foolishly, fervently, as the turning point of her life. All because of Will. Will Belmont had a reputation for fixing broken things. Old surfboards, rusted bicycles, abandoned boats, and sometimes even people, though he never admitted that part. His beach house, however, had always seemed like the one thing he couldn't, or wouldn't, restore. It wasn't that it was falling apart exactly, it just felt frozen in time, an echo of summers long gone, holding its breath. Luna felt the house whisper to her the moment she arrived. She had come at Will's invitation, though she told herself it was only because she needed a change of scenery. She was freshly heartbroken, freshly unemployed, and freshly convinced that the universe was testing her in ways she hadn't studied for. When Will texted her, "Want a place to escape for a while?" she accepted before her fear could answer. Now, standing in the sand, she wondered if escape was the right word. Because the longer she looked at the house, the more it felt like arrival. Chapter 1. The House with Something to Say. Inside, the beach house looked exactly like Will, a little chaotic, quietly beautiful, unintentionally warm. There were surfboards leaning against walls like sleepy giants, a hammock strung across the living room where a couch should have been, and windows so large the sky felt like it had second residency. Everywhere Luna looked, something seemed to glow, shells placed in little bowls, hand-painted mugs, maps pinned with memories only Will could decipher. "What do you think?" Will asked, carrying her bags inside, unaware that Luna's heart was currently trying to sprint out of her chest. She started. Words failed her. "It feels alive." Will laughed. "That's one way to describe something that probably needs new wiring." Luna didn't tell him what she really meant, that the house felt like it had been waiting. For what, or whom, she wasn't sure. She found her room upstairs, a sunlit space with soft blue walls and a balcony that overlooked the ocean. On the dresser lay a note in Will's handwriting. "Use the house like it's yours. Dreams welcome." That last part wasn't typical of him. Will wasn't whimsical, he was practical, steady, infuriatingly grounded. It almost felt as though the house had written the note through him. Luna touched the words like they were precious. For the first time in months, something inside her softened. Chapter 2. Will's Reason, Luna's Hope. The days that followed blurred into a rhythm she didn't know she'd been craving. Mornings were for wandering. Luna walked barefoot through the tide while Will repaired something outside, sometimes humming, sometimes swearing gently at stubborn screws. Afternoons were for stories. Luna read on the porch while Will painted in the yard, pretending not to peek over to see if she liked the colors he chose. Evenings were for questions, big ones, small ones, ones that had been waiting for the right silence to be spoken. Despite the easy rhythm, Luna still didn't understand why Will had really invited her, not until the fifth night, when a storm rolled in and Will confessed the truth. "I'm thinking about selling the house," he said, staring at the lightning reflected on the water. Luna felt her stomach drop. "But why?" He hesitated. "Because I don't know what to do with it anymore. My dad built this place, you know. He always said it's where dreams start. But I can't tell if keeping it is honoring him or holding myself back." Luna's heart tightened. She understood that feeling too well. The ache of not knowing what parts of your life to keep, what parts to release. "So you invited me here, to help you decide?" she asked gently. Will shook his head. "I invited you because you're the only person I know who actually listens when a place is trying to say something." Luna didn't realize she had been crying until the thunder drowned out the sound. The house wasn't just shelter, it was crossroads. And she, unexpectedly, was part of it.